Lampasas County, and I'm running for the Platform Committee. I am new to the Democratic Party, but I've been a progressive activist for almost 2 decades now. My earliest political act that I can recall was enrolling in a public speaking class in Central Texas College, and I passionately argued for the legalization of marijuana. That is an issue that I'm still very passionate about today, and my very first official Democratic act was passing a resolution in Lampasas County for the full legalization of marijuana at the county convention earlier this year. I was living in Austin when we were gearing up to invade Iraq, and I was very proud to stand in the streets downtown and risk arrest to protest that action. Currently, I'm working in Killeen at a hospital right by Fort Hood, and even though I'm not a veteran myself, veteran issues are very important to me, and I'm disgusted with how our government is treating our vets. If we're going to send them off to war, we need to take care of them. If we don't have the money, then we don't have the money to go to war. So I've mentioned Austin, Killeen, and Lampasas, which are only 3 of the very diverse parts of this crazily gerrymandered district. But I hope that gives a little bit of perspective at whether the issue is urban or rural. If it comes to me on the Platform Committee, I hope I can serve and represent you well. I've read the 2014 Texas Democratic Party platform in its entirety. I think it's a remarkable document, and I want to applaud the people that put it together. I agree with probably about 98%. I want to highlight just briefly 3 areas of improvement. Going back to marijuana, of course, I'm still passionate about that. The current platform language is very strong towards decriminalization. I think we can go further. It would be a boon to our state economically, criminal justice-wise, strengthening our ties to Mexico, putting money in the coffers. The benefits outweigh the risks. Let's legalize it, tax it, and regulate it. I'm not a big fan of fracking. I would like to have it completely abolished in this great state. If that's a bridge too far, I at least support much stricter regulatory language in the platform. And finally, LGBT rights. I am white, I am straight, and I am male. And long before I ever joined this party, I've always marveled at its inclusiveness toward anyone who doesn't have that adjective. The current platform language for the LGBT community is very strong, but in light of recent events that the GOP is up to, I think we can strengthen the language to protect our transgender community.
Amen.
I'm a proud Bernie supporter, but I'm not bringing any pitchforks to San Antonio. I acknowledge that this is Hillary's time to make history, and part of me is proud of that too. I won't stand in the way if for no other reason I don't want to get shards of glass ceiling all over. But I'm serious in my intent to work with you guys moving for a progressive future. I'd like to take this party back to the roots of the FDR New Deal and the LBJ War on Poverty. Too many Texans of every stripe are suffering in this economy, and I urge all of us to fight harder for the voiceless and the underrepresented. I will be gathering petitions on the convention floor next week and helping the party as a poll worker in Lampasas County this November. I intend to help slay the reputation of Democrats staying home in non-presidential election years by continuing our progressive momentum in 2018. Finally, I hope we can flip this state blue by the next caucus and maybe get a senator district next year. It's a challenging task, but it's one I'm committing to you all. And regardless of your presidential pick, if you believe in criminal justice reform, the threat of climate change, the eradication of corporate money in our political process, if you're pro-choice, if you believe labor is more valuable than capital, and fair trade is preferable to free trade, then I'm with you.